AITA for not telling my son about my new family? I've always had a complicated relationship with my son, 28M. My ex-husband, 52M, worked long hours. Said it was often just the two of us. I always wanted the best for him. So I would nag him about things like finishing his homework, eating healthy, and going to bed on time. I never really listened to what he wanted. And I can see now that that was a mistake. Things got worse when my husband had an affair with his coworker. And we got divorced when my son was 16. My son wanted to live with his dad and stepmom, who he felt were more laid back. They didn't force him to contact me. And over time, we lost touch. It breaks my heart to admit this. But I cried nights on end after my son moved out. I missed him terribly and didn't know how to reconnect with him. I was devastated when I found out he had changed his number and moved out of state. Over the years, my former in-laws became my rock. They would give me updates on my son's life. And I would cry tears of joy and sadness when I heard about his accomplishments and milestones. I cried during my wedding and during my youngest son's birth because I missed my oldest son so much. Recently, I was invited to my ex-husband's parents' anniversary party. I decided to go, hoping to reconnect with my son. I didn't expect him to be happy to see me, but I was shocked by his reaction. He was angry that I had remarried and had a 5-year-old son. He felt like I had replaced him with a perfect, well-behaved kid. I tried to say that I had wanted to tell him, but I didn't know how to reach him. He yelled at me and then left with his dad and stepmom. I feel terrible about what happened. I was hoping to reconnect with my son, but instead, I made things worse. I miss him so much. And I saw the dinner as a way to try to bridge the gap between us. But it didn't work out that way. And now I don't know what to do. AITA? Edit. I am sorry if I didn't explain myself properly, but in the beginning, he would pick up my phone calls but then he stopped. I continued to try and call him but then I learned he changed his phone number. He was 19, I think. NTA. Your son went no contact with you but feels he has the right to criticize or condemn you for getting remarried and having another child? Meanwhile, the cheating father and mistress turned stepmom are the heroes? Are you sure that your in-laws are as great as you think? Sounds like he's scapegoating you for the divorce. Did you get blamed by your ex-husband and his affair partner? I would have felt so betrayed that my son would pick the cheating father and his affair partner over his mom. NTA, he cut you out of his life. He doesn't get to act like he didn't reject you. So let me get this straight, he's the one that walks away, moves to a different state, changes his number, and somehow it's your fault? NTA. NTA. But it seems he made up his mind. And nothing you can do can change it. Maybe write a letter. This post might make a good starting point. And leave it with his grandparents. When a 28-yo gets upset about having a 5-yo half-sibling, there seems to be lingering resentment that seems to indicate professional help. Even so, that is up to him. And maybe the ones that he sees as dear to him. But even then he might change his opinion. But that still does not mean you will make room in his life for you. Good luck. It is a little weird that the grandparents did not mention the husband and the new kid to the son for 5 years. Info. Can you elaborate a little more on why your relationship was strained? Asking a kid to do homework, go to bed, etc. just seems like normal mom territory. Was there absolutely no way you could have found a way to contact him? Letters, email, social media, anything? Did you make any sort of effort to find him, or did you want to wait until he reached out first? I'm currently nagging my kids to go to bed, do their homework, etc. And this scenario is terrifying me. I feel like I would be the crazy person to hire a PI and get an address so I could drive to there. New house and connect though. I don't think I would take no for an answer unless they made it clear that they wanted me to leave them alone. NTA. Not going to lie. I'm surprised this is my judgment. But after reading the story, and your comments about how your ex-husband treated your son as a pawn in the divorce, I suspect it's likely that this is parent alienation. As an older teen, your son could have tried to keep in contact with you and did not. You did try and keep in contact with him, but he stopped and then changed his number. Visitation was never mandated and you had no way to really reach him. Besides letters, I suppose. But at that point, he was an adult. And many on this thread would say, in a different scenario, he had set a boundary and as a legal adult you shouldn't cross it. Info. Have you ever asked his grandparents to help keep communication open? Have you tried getting his new number? Or did he tell you to stay away? NTA. And I would send a message through saying that he doesn't get to pick and choose when his relationship with you. He abandoned you for a new family that didn't parent him. He changed his number. He moved away. He chose his new family and you made yours. And honestly, as much as you love them, what grandparent doesn't encourage their grandchild to talk to their mother that they have such a high regard of? I would question why they didn't even try to facilitate a meeting with all of you. This gives me the sense of missing reasons. People don't cut out family out of the blue. The reasons you've shared here aren't the real reasons. You need to look deeper. A party is not the place to have a reunion with an estranged adult child, especially to introduce them to your new family. Your expectations of your son's reaction are misaligned there. This was the first contact he's had with you for years. So yeah, it's going to be a shock. If you knew he was in contact with his grandparents, and you were in contact with them, there was a way to contact him through the grandparents. A letter could have passively informed him of your life events without the pressure of speaking to you in person or on the phone. I'm going with YTA. It sounds like there was a lot more going on here than you've shared. But I sense more effort could have been made as well. So he expects to dictate the terms you remain childless. No contact with him. No additional kids. While he gets everything he wants from his dad and your replacement? He honestly sounds a bit entitled. He wanted no contact or updates on your life and was okay with replacing you. While you still wanted to be a mom, he needs to learn that he can't always get what he wants. NTA. I find it unbelievable that your in-laws, your rock, gave you updates on your son's life and refused to tell you where he was or how you could contact him. Did those updates not contain any information that would help you find him? As in, they told you he was in college but they wouldn't say which one. They told you he got a job but they refused to say who the employer was or what city it was in. Since he was an adult who could have looked for you, too. But you don't seem very truthful and your son doesn't believe you either. Info. Have you actually seen your son since he was 16? It sounds like he moved out and you tried to call him a few times and then lost contact. Did you actually continue to see him after he moved out? Go and visit him? NTA. From the outside looking in, based on your post, it sounds like your ex played the cool dad to win your son over and never wanted to co-parent with you. Look, I despise my ex-wife, but my girls don't know that. I still bite my tongue and play nice with her because it's ultimately better for the kids. Your ex sounds heartless and vindictive. As for your son, he's the one who went no contact. Any mother would try to stay in contact, but he became too much like his father. Then he has the nerve to get mad when you live your life. Does he expect you to just stay home and cry over him? Kids don't go NC for no reason. Until you are truthful about what actually happened, it's NTA. Unless you are leaving something out. It sounds like you were a parent to your son. Getting your kid to do their homework, eat healthy and sleep is basic parenting. And there might have been some parental alienation going on. Was your presence at the party a surprise? It seems odd that the in-laws would invite you without giving your ex a heads up. Appa's not giving the full details on why her 16-year-old kid blocked her from his life. It 100% doesn't have to deal with being a nag and teaching him how to eat right and do homework. That's called being a parent. You're withholding information, and I'm curious as to why your son cut ties with you. NTA. Your son's a brat. No knowing what lies the father filled his head with. I swear the son's perspective was posted on AITA a while back, where it was the son talking about how his mom harassed him by making him go to bed and wear clean clothes and nagged him by asking about his life. YTA. I know the way you're telling it your son sounds horrible. I also know that 16-year-olds don't just completely abandon their totally innocent moms, who have also been their primary caregiver their entire life, because their dad and stepmom are cooler. Live with them maybe. Never want to speak to you again. No. I think you're kind of glossing over the fact that you were abusing your son. I think you know you abused your son. Your son wants nothing to do with you. I think his outburst was more anger about you showing up to a family event to surprise him, and at his grandparents for inviting his abuser to an event they knew he was coming to. Leave your son alone. He doesn't want anything to do with you. Focus on being a better mom to the kid you haven't alienated yet.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.